You know that feeling when you've got a perfect circular design? Maybe a badge or a pendant, only for Photoshop to shove it into a square? Yeah, it's frustrating. Smart objects are always rectangular, which means annoying masking and extra work just to keep things looking right. But don't worry, we'll solve all of this step by step. There's an easy, lesser-known trick that allows designers to maintain perfect circular smart objects without constant manual adjustments. Plus, I'll reveal a simple technique to make your circular smart objects look sharper and more adaptable. Stick around until the end, and I'll also show you an automation trick that will boost your efficiency when working with Bulk Mockup. Step 1. Create mask with pen tool. Alright, let's start by creating a precise mask for our circular object using the pen tool. If you're new to the pen tool, don't worry. I'll walk you through it step by step. First, select the pen tool from the toolbar or press P on your keyboard. Now, before we begin placing points, let's make sure we can navigate our workspace efficiently. To zoom in and out smoothly, hold Alt or Option on Mac while scrolling your mouse wheel. This helps you get up close to see fine details and zoom out when you need a broader view. If you ever feel stuck in one area, hold space and drag with your left mouse button to move around the artboard freely. This keeps you in control and ensures you can follow the contours of your design without struggling with navigation. Now, click to create your first anchor point along the edge of the circular design, then continue clicking around, placing points strategically. If your design has curves, click and drag slightly to create smooth Bezier handles. Remember, precision is key. Taking your time here will save you extra work later. Once you've made it all the way around and closed the path, right-click and choose Make Selection. In the pop-up window, set the feather radius to 2 pixels and hit OK. Now, you've got a perfect selection of your circular object. Now that we've created our selection, let's refine it by adding a mask layer. Click on the New Layer icon at the bottom of the Layers panel to create a fresh layer. Next, select the Paint Bucket tool by pressing G on your keyboard, then click on the circular selection to fill it with a solid color. This makes it easy to visualize the mask and ensures we're working within the right area. Once done, double-click on the layer name and rename it as Mask to keep everything organized. Step 2. Create Smart Object. Have you ever noticed how some designs become pixelated when resized? That happens when an image isn't set up correctly for flexibility. In this step, we'll prevent that by turning our design into a smart object, ensuring it maintains its quality no matter how many times it's adjusted. First, select the Rectangle tool from the toolbar. Click and drag to create a square that is slightly larger than your masked circular object. This extra space is crucial because it helps maintain quality and prevents clipping issues when resizing later. Once you have the rectangle, fill it with a different color so you can easily distinguish it from the mask. Following that, time to right-click on the rectangle layer in the Layers panel and choose Convert to Smart Object. You might not notice an immediate change, but this conversion allows for non-destructive editing, meaning you can scale and modify your design without reducing its resolution. To make it easier to position, reduce the opacity to 80% so you can see how it aligns with the masked area. Use Ctrl+T or Command+T on Mac to adjust and fit the rectangle over the circular mask properly. Take your time here. Ensuring the smart object covers the mask completely will save you adjustments later. Once you're satisfied with the alignment, bring the opacity back up to 100% for clarity. Finally, double-click the layer name in the Layers panel and rename it to Smart Object for better organization. This keeps everything neat and makes it easier to work with as we move forward. The best thing about smart objects? You can resize and tweak your design as much as you want, and it'll still look just as sharp. Now that we have our smart object ready, let's move on to the next step and clip it perfectly inside the circular mask. Step 3. Create clipping mask. Ever tried placing a design inside a shape and struggled to get it to fit just right? Instead of manually resizing and adjusting over and over, there's a quick and easy way to snap it into place perfectly. This is where a clipping mask comes in handy. It allows us to contain the smart object within the circular selection. To create the clipping mask, make sure the smart object layer is positioned directly above the mask layer in the Layers panel. Right-click on the Smart Object layer and select Create Clipping Mask. Instantly, the Smart Object takes the shape of the circular mask, keeping everything neat and precise. Now, let's add a design to see how it looks. Right-click on the Smart Object layer and select Edit Contents. Here, another tab will open where you can add your design. Add your design and adjust it to fit the entire canvas area. Now, save the changes by going to File and click Save. Close this window and you can see your design has been applied. The clipping mask ensures that only the circular portion of the smart object is visible, while the excess remains hidden. With that being done, let's move on to refining the design for an even more polished look. Step 4. Glass Effect. When you look at high-quality mockups, you'll notice a subtle shine or reflection that makes them feel more realistic. That polished look isn't just luck, it's a glass effect. To create this effect, start by clicking on the mask layer in the Layers panel to activate it. Then, open the Layer Style window by double-clicking on the layer. This will bring up a menu with various effects and adjustments. Go to the Bevel and Emboss settings and start tweaking the options. You can adjust the shading, glass contours, and opacity to get the perfect look. Try different settings until you achieve a subtle, realistic effect. If you're unsure where to start, you can follow a reference setting or experiment based on your image. Since every design is unique, slight variations and adjustments will be necessary to get the best result. A great tip here is to pay attention to the lighting and highlights. This will make the glass effect pop and enhance the overall realism of the mockup. Once you're happy with how it looks, hit OK to apply the effect. This final touch is what separates a basic mockup from one that looks premium and professional. With this effect in place, your design won't just look good. It'll have depth, dimension, and realism that instantly elevates the entire presentation. Step 5. Distort Smart Object Layer. If you've ever looked at a professional mockup and wondered why it feels so natural and dynamic, the answer is subtle distortion. By slightly adjusting the shape of the smart object, we can give it a more organic look that blends seamlessly with the scene. First, select the Smart Object layer, then navigate to Filter the Go to Camera Raw filter. In the Optics section, you'll find the Distortion slider. Gently reduce the distortion to subtly curve the edges and make the object feel less rigid. Click OK and you'll see how this small adjustment makes a big difference in realism. Now, take a moment to adjust the smart object further to ensure it fits naturally within the mockup. Use Ctrl+T or Command+T on Mac to tweak its position, scale, and slight rotation if needed. This step is all about refining the perspective so that your design integrates smoothly. Once satisfied, let's keep things organized. Select all related layers, including the smart object, mask, and any effect layers, then press Ctrl+G or Command+G on Mac to group them. Open up the group and duplicate the smart object layer. Duplicated smart object retains the attributes of the main smart object. Move this outside the group so it's easier to edit its contents. Rename the group accordingly to keep your project structured and easy to manage. You now have a polished, realistic smart object that blends seamlessly into the mock-up. With this final adjustment, your smart object will no longer look like it's just sitting on top of an image. It will feel truly embedded within the scene, adding a professional, polished finish to your mock-up. Now that we've refined our design, what if we needed to apply multiple variations to this mockup? Editing circular smart objects one by one can be tedious, but there's a much faster way to get the job done. Instead of manually replacing each design, we can automate the entire process using the Bulk Mockup Plugin, allowing us to generate multiple high-quality mockups in just a few clicks. Since we already created a template earlier, we'll now use it to apply multiple designs efficiently. Looking at our workspace, we have 3 main folders. Design, which holds all the variations we want to apply. Export, where our final mockups will be saved. And Template, our base mockup file that ensures all designs fit seamlessly. Keeping these folders organized makes the process smooth and efficient. To begin, open the Bulk Mockup plugin. Now assign each of the folders. Click on PSD Template folder and select the folder containing your templates. Click on Design folder and select the folder containing your design. Lastly, click on Export folder and select the folder you created for your exported mockups. Next, in the plugin window, we need to choose a resize method. And for this project, we'll select Fill Canvas, cropping the extra. Next, under Export Settings, we select PSD Mockup as the file format and JPG for exporting and saving. To maintain the highest quality, we set the quality level to 12. Finally, in the naming section, we rename the files based on preference, making them easy to locate later. With everything set up, we hit Start Generating, and instantly the plugin begins applying each design to the template. You'll see the mockups populate one by one, seamlessly integrating different designs into the circular smart object. Within seconds, our export folder fills with high-quality mockups, each variation perfectly aligned with no need for manual adjustments. Scrolling through, we can see every design applied effortlessly, maintaining the same clean and professional look across all files. This is why the Bulk Mockup plugin is a game changer. No more resizing or manually swapping designs, just a fast, automated workflow that saves time while ensuring every mockup looks flawless. Try these techniques, especially the Bulk Mockup plugin, in your own projects and let me know how they work for you.